you got to think about, man. Matter of fact, shalom, peace and blessings. I was finna hop straight into this message, man. I've been on a little escapade. What I'm saying, here within these last few hours, man, because as a watchman, a seer. What I mean, uh, it's imperative for us to to show what's happening, man. Like you know the 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 news is not gonna show you the things that's going on. They're gonna give you a bunch of uh uh kitty news and stuff that don't really mean nothing, propaganda, but they not gonna really tell you about the real issues that's going on at the moment. You know what I mean? And that's why I like YouTube, because on that channel, you can go find certain things that's going on, like just dealing with these open borders, you know what I'm saying, and how at the moment, you got Texas rebelling against these tyrants, who have sold the country out, you know what I mean? Which I'm neither for the left or the right. I don't really care, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make me no difference, because it doesn't matter what we do as Negroes, coloreds, Afro Americans, African Americans, or whatever they want to call us. It doesn't matter what we do. We are not going to get the results that we're looking for. We never have, and we never will. Many of men have marched. Many of men have evidenced the deception and the treachery of the people that we dealing with. You know what I mean? And so you got to understand that, or stand under the fact that, that the spirit is in some way lifting up a standard. You know what I mean? Because you got that governor down there, Abbott, down there, him and his National Guards, down there, going against, this tyrant who is, open up the borders and, doing it just so that he can, I don't know, get some ghost votes or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? But, the bottom line is that, for many of years, the Afro-American, the African-American, the Negro, the colored has been uh, uh, neglected in everything. The things that have been done to us as a people, and nobody wants to repay us. Nobody, then they want to tell us to, pick ourselves up by the bootstraps. And then when we do that, then they come burn it down. You know what I mean? So, it's not that, us as a people haven't been given the effort and doing the things that we need to do to build a viable community, to have our own nation. You know what I mean? And that's the thing, they keep us divided. They keep the men at the women and the women at the men. They keep, this one rich and this one poor, the rich against the poor. They give people a little money, but the only way that you can get to it is you have to pledge. You got to make a pledge to them. It's somewhere in Proverbs, and even in Daniel, it speaks about, how you are to be careful of the dainties of the king. But that's not even my message. My message is that, when you got to understand, America at one time, if that's what you want to call it, was a great place. I don't see how myself, um, with there being slavery, how, how you can consider yourself great when, the country was built off the blood, sweat, and tears of a people, and everybody else that come here get the benefit, and then, they want to sweep it up under the rug and say, that critical race theory doesn't exist, and they not going to let it in because they don't want their children to be traumatized are to understand the things that they did to get them in the position that they in. And so when you look at what's happening, as far as the borders being open and all these undocumented people coming through here, it's kind of ironic. You see what I'm saying? Because these people had a chance, to make things right, to reconcile the things that was done to a people, and they refused. In their pride and in their ego, they refused. Just like a ship and its captain, they want to just go down with the ship. And so it's kind of ironic because you know, okay, y'all don't want to give, these people, what belongs to them, what their ancestors worked for after tricking them and taking and doing so many evil things to them, that now it's a people coming over here and they just sucking up the resources like the locusts and the cankerworms. That ain't even my message though, but my message is this, is that, like I said, at one time, America was a great place. The so-called freedoms that we have and the liberties that we have, you would think we have these liberties and freedoms and or whatever, which we don't. But at the same time, it's better than a lot of other places. You when you start, looking at these third world countries or looking at these other countries, you got to understand that they don't abide by the principles, our so-called Christianity, which came from Judaism. Judaism is, was before Christianity, which Judaism is, came from the Jews or Judah. There will be a lawgiver that comes out of Judah. And so Judaism still exists, but we as Messianic Jews believe in the Messiah. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, when you dealing with these third world countries, you got to understand that they don't serve the same gods that you serve over here. Even though it's dealing with Catholicism, Catholics, most of them Catholics, because you got to understand that Cortez and them were Catholics when they conquered the so-called Aztecs and the Latinas, the Mexicans down there. So you got to understand that. But you got to understand also that a lot of those countries down there, some of them don't even believe in God. You know what I'm saying? Some of them just, don't believe in anything. They just, and it's because of, the way they were raised. And so you got to understand with that, you have these people that's coming over here with a whole different way of life. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them people, you know what I'm saying? You wonder why they running over here, because they trying to get away from the wickedness that's happening over there in them countries. When you get to speaking on certain things, you know what I mean? And for the sake of my sanity, I ain't gonna really speak on a lot of things, but if you know about those third world countries, you like if you look at Ecuador right now, they just had the leader of they warring right now down there. A gang is warring with the government because the leader of the gang just got loose. You know what I'm saying? And you got to understand, man, like, man, some of them people down there is treacherous. We think we treacherous up here. You know what I'm saying? Like we see wickedness up here. You know what I'm saying? But the level of wickedness that go on down there, you ain't seen wickedness. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about the borders being open, man, this is the thing, that Governor Abbott is trying to prevent. You know what I'm saying? The kidnappings and the hostages and all these things that come along with that. You know what I'm saying? The things that they ain't gonna tell you about in the news. You haven't seen the levels of wickedness that go on down there. You know what I mean? And so when I say that there is a purge coming, that that the gates of hell have been opened, that's what I mean. When you go back and look at the movie Constantine, you know what I'm saying? What was the majority of people that was in that room when you go look at Constantine, that movie? He brought the scepter, or the dagger, from over across from South America. The guy who brought the dagger from South America had a spirit. Man, that's what I'm saying. You gotta pay attention to these things, man. And it's just us, speaking on this through these channels, to make you aware, you know, of what's going on, and how your leaders have sold out the country. Because these privileged people, they feel like, oh, okay, we can't have slaves no more, so we'll just do the next best thing, is we'll bring these people over here, and work them like slaves, even though they getting paid, because they undocumented. You see what I'm saying? And we'll just move y'all out the way. You see what I'm saying? And then what's gonna be left for you to do? Nothing but crime. And then next thing you sitting in a cell, because you've been charged like a battery. You see what I'm saying? So I just thought, I would clarify myself on the things, like, that I speak on, so, people won't feel like, oh, this man is, he just talking out the side of his neck. No, man, this stuff is real. The things that's going on, the spiritual war that's going on. And it's mainly against our people. So, we need to start getting ourselves together and repenting and getting ourselves right with Yahuwah, so that we can be saved. Shalom, peace and blessings.